Welcome to the service, y'all. Babaji's a little hungover today. Didn't even drink that much. I don't know why I'm so weird today. Silly mood. But with this music playing, it is kind of getting me jacked up, kind of raising the vibration a little bit. So welcome to the service. Come on in, everybody. Van says, what's up, dude? Oh, Van Dad. How you doing, baby? Dude, I got a good topic for... Oh, my God. He's going to love it. Van Dad. Brother, we will talk about colonizer today, brother. We will talk about colonizer today. This is 8 days in a row. 8 days in a row, live service in the morning. We're 10 minutes late today. I don't know. I'm in such a weird mood. It's the 8th day. This is like the first time in 8 days that I'm like I didn't sleep enough last night. So we got some powerful karmas, but we got some, you know, the karmas are powerful, but I'm gonna surrender to it, and I think we'll get it done more powerful even. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, make sure we're raising the vibration out there for the community. We're gonna talk about these sinners. A lot of sinners today. You know, it's Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is here, people. It is the time of great suffering, according to the Hindus. So we have to get together and be righteous. And this is a righteousness report, you know. So you got to hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification, so you know. In these times of Kali Yuga, you need to know who's righteous and who's not. So you got to tune in. You got to get the notification. But we're doing. I'm gonna go for every day 10:10 to 11:11. 10:10 to 11:11. Even though today we started at 10:20, but you know, I think that's been working well. 7 days. We're getting some traction. People are messaging me back on Instagram saying, "Hey, great service. Appreciate the service. It's raised my vibration." Stuff like that. So come on in. I gotta do a couple of things though. In the meantime, yeah, look at the graphics. They're very beautiful and they're for your loving enjoyment. So look at them. Very good. Look at them. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Hey, Van, guess what? You're just a little buttercup of God, brother. You're just a little buttercup of God. Chipko, guess what? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Sophia Gibson, guess what? The whole congregation. Who is that? Jackknife? Jackknife says God is great. Yeah, no, it is my most delightful karmas to remind you that you are just a little buttercup of God. That's how God sees you. Come on in. Welcome to the service. We got a nice little congregation today. Nice tight little congregation. I almost didn't do the stream today. I'm so tired. But I said, you know what? It is Kali Yuga, and I have to speak to the community. It has to be done. So, yeah, we'll be starting in a second. Van says what? I don't know what you're referring to, Van. But let me know. Listen, we're gonna do comments in a second. Let's get ripping, shall we? Let's get to these rips, shall we? Excuse me. Sorry about that. Let's get to these rips, shall we? Well, first of all, May 31st, this Wednesday, I have a comedy show, so come check that out. It's at Desi Fest, which is a music festival in Toronto. They take over Yonge and Dundas Square every year in June. And we're doing the opening night, comedy night, and it is a powerful service. It's going to be a very powerful service for the community. And then, of course, there's a link to that in the comments. And there's also a link to my meditation class, which we may be doing tonight. If we get 10 signups, maybe we'll go. Yeah. Let's see if there's time. If not, I'm going to be editing videos tonight because we got a lot of righteous rips to get to the market. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into our first topic, shall we? Let's get into our first topic, shall we? There we go. Yes, very good. Dun, dun, dun. This is upbeat, happy synthwave by New Dawn from the White Bat Audio. Have gratitude in your heart. You know, there's people are giving us free music. We have so much free music here. So much free music, but it's good. It's good music. It's nice.
Number one, why I.
This is a series of rips. This is interesting because it does feel like I said, we're in Kali Yuga. The Hindus say we're in Kali Yuga. So I don't want to scare anyone, but yeah, like a world war. It is time for a world war. It is that kind of a time, and you know what I mean? Like it's always building up to end times kind of thing. And at the same time, it feels like every generation thinks that. Every generation thinks like it's all going to end. We're going to be the last ones and everything. God's going to take it back. I heard that it's like porn for old people because they're going to die anyway. So they have a FOMO of like, I'm going to die and I'm going to miss all the next stuff. So then they're like, no, it's all going to, everyone dies. It's going to any minute now. Apparently, yeah, it's like a thing that old people do. And they do get into these like weird death kind of conspiracy, like these end of the world. I feel like a lot of old people, they do like it. And maybe they're being selfish because they're going and then, if not selfish, they're FOMO. There's a FOMO where they feel like I'm going to. But anyway, the point is though, is that Kali Yuga, what is Kali Yuga? It is time of high, it's the time of a maximum. Let me just show you guys the chart. Let's look at our scale of, if you look at our scale of righteousness, basically Kali Yuga means that there's maximum people in the bottom part of they're non-righteous, meaning like they're of the ego. They're too invested in fighting, fear, negativity, bitterness. Too many people like that in the culture. Not here, of course. We're here to raise the vibration on this podcast, but very high vibration in this podcast, in the whole congregation. But out there in general, you know, and that's why you got to tune in every day, every day, 10 to 11 every single goddamn day. Just let's see how long we can keep this streak going, because eventually I'm gonna have to do something in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be an issue. So we'll figure it out. But for the foreseeable future, yeah, we're doing this. We're doing this every morning, 10 to 11. We're building this congregation, and we got to build it because it is, like I said, Kali Yuga is here. And it is like a time where we can just go to war. According to the Hindus. I mean, you don't have to believe it. A lot of white people believe it, though. Joe Rogan believes in it. He brings it up every now and then on the podcast. He also believes in aliens and stuff. So it's like, you know, we're in eccentric territory. Okay? Is it science? I don't know. Is it science? I mean, we got the numbers. We got the numbers on righteousness. Nobody else is doing this on YouTube. So it is a scientific, but it's not supposed to be a hard science like that. Then it would be of the ego. Anyway, let's continue watching Jay. In this time of Kali Yuga, for him to say these things, it's very powerful. Hold on. Very powerful.
I wanted to interrupt you in a way. I mean, I'm partly reacting to the previous observation. You know, somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset.
That's so, dude, basically saying grow up.
That Europe's problems are the world's problems. But the world's problems are not Europe's problems. That if it is you, it's yours. If it is me, it's ours. I think that's something, and I see, you know, reflections of that. Again, in terms of, you know, there is a linkage today which is being made. You know, a linkage between China and India and what's happening in Ukraine. So come on, guys. I mean, China and India happened way before anything happened in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Dr. Jaishankar.
It's weird. I guess it's weird how people don't like it. People get offended. Like the clip that I played yesterday of the African guy being like, where is your people in jail for Iraq? Why have they not gone to jail for Iraq? That guy, there's a lot of this though. A lot of this popping up in the world. The world order is changing, but these rips are righteous. I do want to know more about George Soros, and I figured we should watch this together to figure out like, what is this? What is George Soros? And in the audience, can you guys tell me, like, do you guys think he's evil? Do you guys think he's good? Like, what is this George Soros character? Because some people are saying he's just a complete made up fantasy character. Ignore him. You get into that, you're going into kooky, silly territory. And then some people are like, you need to look at this guy and take him seriously because he's going to fuck us up. It's basically the culture's divided on it. So I don't know what to think. So let's try watching this together. I'll play it faster.
A lot of your commentary was focused on democracy and furthering democracy and different forms of democracy. There are occasional comments that we see on the undermining of democracy in India, most recently in the context of the BBC. And just yesterday at the Munich Security Conference, George Soros spoke on many issues, but specifically on open and closed societies, and called on institutional reform in India.
So that guy's like a pro George Soros, it sounds like. Because the way he said George Soros, he said it like, my Babaji said that yesterday, my Babaji taught us a very powerful teaching from my Babaji. It was in the tone. Do you know what I'm saying? Am I off here? It feels like he was kind of like...
Gandhi speaking...
Sorry.
Dr. Jaishankar, a lot of your furthering democracy and different forms of democracy, focused on democracy and furthering democracy and different forms of democracy. There are occasional comments that we see on the undermining of democracy in India, most recently in the context of the BBC. And just yesterday at the Munich Security Conference, George Soros spoke on many issues, but specifically on open and closed societies, and called on institutional reform in India. How do you, as Foreign Minister of India, explain this when you're dealing with your...
What is with... It is... Okay, I gotta say, like, what... Even yesterday we had played the clip of Justin Trudeau going to Italy and saying, we're worried that you're homophobic. You guys are totally homophobic. He goes to Italy, the Italian Prime Minister, and says that she's homophobic. Now George Soros, this is a George Soros saying that India, basically you guys are backwards and you got to fix it. What do you guys think? Why is George, is this out of line? Is this Eurocentrism? Why is George Soros doing any commentary on my India? I remember when I was growing up, if there's some people, if you said anything about India, they'd be like, hey, don't say like that about my India. It is my India.
Quad ministers
I feel like that.
as well as others.
Well, look, I actually made 2 points. One, how the world is changing. It is rebalancing. It is less Euro-Atlantic. I don't think everybody gets that. I think old habits die hard. I mean, very candidly, there are still people in the world who believe that their definition, their preferences, their views must override everything else. So since you mentioned this specific example, I don't know how familiar people are with what was said at the Munich conference. Essentially, Mr. Soros said India is a democratic country, but he doesn't think the Prime Minister of India is a Democrat. And by the way, a few years ago, in the same conference, I was there at that time, he actually accused us of planning to strip millions of Muslims of their citizenship, which of course didn't happen. It was a ridiculous suggestion. But you have to understand what...
See, now I don't know what to think. Now I don't know what to think. But because that, I do think the Hindus were trying to strip millions of people of their citizenship. I think they were basically making a law that would make it more difficult for Muslims to get in, even though the surrounding countries are very Muslim and they need to get out of the country. Like Pakistan, they need to get out. Bangladesh, I think a lot of refugees are leaving from Bangladesh too, maybe. And I did hear that they passed a law. You know, sometimes I feel like this Jaishankar, this Dr. Jaishankar, I wonder if he's righteous actually now, because he is very pro-Modi, and Modi is a, why did I say Modi? Modi is he is like a right-wing nationalist actually. I don't know. When I started this, I thought I'd be on 100% on my India side, but now I'm feeling like maybe George Soros, it's out of place. Like, who are you over there? As if all your problems are solved, and as if these problems don't stem from you guys colonizing and being whatever. But it does feel a little bit like, I guess, like Justin Trudeau going to Italy and being like, you guys are homophobic. Like, they are too. You know what I mean? It's like, it's arrogant. It's rude to act like you have no problem. But also Italy, I mean, we saw their gay rights index score yesterday on the show. Make sure you watch that episode. Rewatch it if you have to. Make notes. But you saw that Italy is number 48 out of 200 on the, gay, like homophobia index. So Justin Trudeau goes over and says, you guys need to stop being homophobic. Maybe Soros, it's Eurocentric, but I think they were doing stuff like that.
This actually means I could take a view that the individual in question, Mr. Soros, is a old, rich, opinionated person sitting in New York who still thinks that his views should determine how the entire world works. Now, if I could only stop at old, rich, and opinionated, I would put it away. But he is old, rich, opinionated, and dangerous. Because what happens...
Very, very measured. Like, the guy is actually too smart and too sharp, and you'll never hear him say, like, the guy insults so politely. He's actually very British. That's why when I was in India, they would always say that the British are good at... They're always very polite, and they're so polite in their colonization. Very polite. He's, it's like so polite. He could have said buffoon. He could have said, and he was old, white, and rich, and a damn bloody buffoon. Something like that. But he just said, and if I might add one more thing, please, dangerous. Dangerous is, that's smart.
This is when such people and such views and such organizations, they actually invest resources in shaping narratives. I spoke about globalization. Now, what globalization does is, it actually creates a lot of the seamlessness of globalization, which creates all the opportunities, also allows, narratives to be shaped, money to come in, foundations to go about their agenda. Now, in this particular case, it is very clear that he has very strong political preferences. He actually thinks that, doesn't matter that this is a country of 1.4 billion people, we're almost there, whose voters decide how the country should run. He actually thinks, well, if, and again, I cite him as an extreme example, okay? But there are other, manifestations of this in different countries, where people like him think an election is good if the person we want to see wins. If the election throws up a different outcome, then we actually will say it's a flawed democracy. This to my and the beauty is all this is done under the pretense of advocacy of open society, of transparency, etc. So our generation, we have grown up with concepts like regime change, which influence operations. Now, you can call it what you will. To me, this really looks the same with a gloss of some kind of do-goodism on it. So for me...
Wow, that's, righteous.
It's actually necessary today that we have today a serious conversation on democracy. When I look at my own democracy, I have today a voter turnout which is unprecedented, electoral outcomes which are decisive, electoral processes which are not questioned. We are not one of those countries where after the election somebody goes to arbitrate in court. Okay, we don't have any hanging.
Oh, one of those countries like America. It's so righteous. It's so righteous. I'm going to come to the comments in a section. This is so righteous.
And where you actually say, I will sit in judgment over the verdict of voters. Now, my sense...
Judge not, yes, ye be judged.
So democracy is the voters supposed to decide. And it worries us. It worries us because, look, we are a country which went through colonialism. We know the dangers of what happens when there's outside...
Stick the landing, brother. Stick the landing, brother. Look at this. This is the last 30 seconds. This is what we call stick the landing. Still, 5 minutes 30 in. First colonialism. It's like a hack would bring out the colonialism first and just do that, and you know what I mean? We're talking about, like, the point's done. Like, when the guy's dead and you just give him that last little... Colonialism? Your righteousness is nothing. You are nothing.
Interference in whatever, guys, in your politics. If you do this kind of scaremongering, like millions of people will be deprived of citizenship, it actually does real damage to our societal fabric. Because somebody out there believes you. and you don't leave it to accident, by the way, you back it up with an operation. So you create that kind of fear psychosis, and then you use that to validate your original judgment. So I do think today between, whose democracy, whose globalization, why, the transparency of how global processes work. These are real issues which need to be debated.
Let's look at the community. Let's see what they're saying in the community. Let's see what people are saying in the community. Oh, hold on. Watch how quickly we get this community tab. I said we're going to get that community tab in just 1 second, and ba-bam. Nope. That's the wrong tab. Oh, here we go. Here we go, and ba-bam. And there's my congregation. Hritik Kumar says, nah, Modi is hated by intellectual right in India. He's more secular in a Western definition. There's no policy by Modi that benefited for the Hindu society, so he's not right-wing. Okay, Hritik Kumar. Okay. Let's live in reality, okay? The guy's a Hindu nationalist. It's okay. No judgment, but this is too far for me. I'm sorry. I have to just say that. First off the top, no, he actually is a Hindu nationalist. That being said, Jaishankar, obviously extremely righteous. Hands down, knocked it out, destroyed him, colonialism in the last 30 seconds, and I sort of cherry on top. I can't believe Hritik Kumar, dude, you're out of control. You're out, Hritik, just cool it. Watch it. Watch the brainwash. It's too much. Hritik, please. We have to live in reality. The guy's a Hindu nationalist. This kind of shit, this reminds me of when Jordan Peterson says I'm not a conservative. How dare you call me a conservative? I'm not a conservative. It's dude, every opinion's conservative. Just say you are. And now you're with the Daily Wire. Let's live in reality, right? Let's live in reality. Modi, yeah, he's a Hindu nationalist. Just, hey, brother, be proud of it. What is this? Modi's not a Hindu. Come on. We got to just live in the world. But Fatty301 says 2002 Gujarat riots. Yeah, no, Hritik. It's not an insult. It's not I'm not trying to attack you. I'm not saying leave you Hindu nationalist. I'm not saying that. We love that you were here. And guess what? You know what I'm going to do for Hritik? I'm going to give you the buttercup. Give it.
Wow, we're just a little buttercup.
You are just a little buttercup. If you think no, Modi is not a Hindu at all. He is just totally secular. Stop. We're not going to be that kind of congregation here. We're not going to be that kind of congregation. But yeah, a lot of new people came. Chris Neller, what's up?
Wow, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
Chris Neller, aren't you a little buttercup? You're just a little buttercup, aren't you? Just a little buttercup. Van says they did do that. Yeah, that's right. So they did. Okay, so who are you talking about? The Hindus? But also Indian Muslims. Right, okay. Which billionaire isn't dangerous? John Connor. Well, guess what, John Connor?
Wow, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
That's right, little buttercup of God. Little buttercup of God. No, this, okay. Okay, there is a point to be contended with here. Because the whole, banning Muslims from India, I mean, they kind of did do it. It's not just made up. People didn't just make that up. They were trying to limit. And if you talk to Hindus on the ground, and this is the weird thing with Hindus right now, is that they do this, they run this cover no, Modi's a very nice to everyone. Muslim love Modi. Muslim, then why Muslim love him? Muslim also love Modi. It's too much brainwash and too much ignoring stuff and then just finding these coping mechanisms of pretending that he didn't do shit. The whole banning making it more difficult for Muslims to get in. Look, let's just say on the technicalities of it, let's just say it's not 1 million Muslims, it's not whatever. But I can just tell you that when you talk to Hindus and when you talk to hardcore Modi supporters, they will tell you that Amish, the Muslims are too much and you have to kill them. That's kind of the attitude on the ground. Yeah, Van says they made many Indian Muslims stateless overnight. 100% they did. Ritik, you gotta live. Okay, wait, what does it say? I'm actually not kidding. Search Abhijit Iyer Mitra. He will explain a lot regarding it. You know, Ritik, we gotta live in reality here, brother. You can't deny that there is a Hindu concern of Muslim overpopulation, and there are these little tricks that they're doing to limit their growth, kick them out, whatever. And a lot of times they do sell it as like this positive thing. Like they did this thing where the Hindus sold it as being very progressive and very good for women's rights. But they did this, they passed a law years ago, I think, that made it legal for Muslim women to get out of a marriage. So it's like, okay, yeah, you do have to help the woman get out of a marriage, because before that, like, they couldn't get out of the marriage. So is it righteous in one sense? Yes. But you are doing it as an effort to depopulate Muslims, kind of, to be like, let's break up their marriages so that this woman isn't there just having kids and kids and kids. Let's break that up. She can go off, do whatever she's got to do. She's not stuck with this guy and he's banging her and getting the kids out. So I'm not saying that, like, yes, letting Muslims get out of marriage, is it righteous? Yes, it is technically righteous, but you're also using it. So I think that's what they do with this immigration stuff. By the way, I'm not Hindu, I'm agnostic. Okay, Ritik Kumar, you're not Hindu. Just stop. This is ridiculous. Your name is Ritik Kumar. It's the most Hindu. You might as well be Mr. Hindu. Your name, you might as well be Mr. Hindu Modi Hindu. Okay, Ritik Kumar. You can't, dude. We gotta live in reality, right? Let's just live it. I get it. Listen, colonialism is bad, and it hurts people, and it traumatizes people into doing these sorts of things. This is an intergenerational trauma that we need to come together and blame the Brits on this shit. Unite. Yesterday I was at a party, and this guy goes, it was a gay Punjabi party. It was a gay Sikh party. First of all, I felt like such a hick because there was a Sikh guy with a turban, and he was full gay and glittered up gay. And I was like, oh my God. So these guys are gay? I felt like such a hick. But also the guy, I also felt like a hick because the DJ, it was a ripper party, by the way. I'll put it on my Instagram later. But it was a ripper of a party. And the guy kept doing these announcements. He's like, hey, everyone. He said, tip the waitstaff first. Then he goes, make sure you know people's pronouns. Don't get the fucking pronouns wrong. This is an LGBT plus friendly event. And then he got a big cheer for that. And then he goes, and by the way, we're going to be playing Punjabi, Bhangra, this, whatever. And he goes, and no fucking Bollywood. And people were like, yeah. It was a ripper. Just on Ossington. It was a ripper. What a great party. Nachama Gluck, blame the Brits. Yes, blame the Brits, brother. Blame the Brits. Van and Ritik Kumar are arguing in the comments. Van, argue with him. This is righteous. Ritik Kumar, don't come in here and just say this Hindu. No, I mean, come in here. Come in here and do it all you want. I don't mind. But at the same time, figuratively, don't come in here with a name like Ritik Kumar and say these Modi, pro-Modi talking points, and then say, actually, I'm not even Hindu, I'm agnostic. Stop. You're Hindu, okay? This is a Hindu on Hindu name, Ritik Kumar. It's enough. It's unacceptable, okay? You can't just say I'm not even Hindu. I'm not even Hindu, and I still believe in Modi. Modi's a number one. That means you're extra Hindu, dude. You have brainwashed yourself into being some kind of undercover agent. Stop this. You're not an undercover agent. It's out in the open. You're born and raised Hindu. Stop. Your name is you're born and raised Hindu. Like, don't. Why are we doing this? I'm not even into. Modi's very secular. Really? Or you brainwashed? I think you're brainwashed, dude. Sorry. Bro, I was raised Christian. Come on. Ritik Kumar. And you were born and raised Christian. Well then, listen. I don't know. The world's upside down. Brother, Kali Yuga is here. Kali Yuga is here. I am Hindu. I'm very Hindu. And Kali Yuga is here, brother. And it is a sinful time. Guess what? Let's go to another clip, actually. I did actually come in today thinking we were going to be pro-India. And because of just a natural lack of righteousness, I think, that appeared, we ended up having to go, they are doing the Muslim stuff. You can't deny it. But anyway, let's watch this video. We'll do more topics on that. Actually, we're gonna be doing more topics on this because I think we do need to dissect these this information to explain it to people, because most people I know, most Hindus I know, they're just doing this, what Ritik's doing, which is this delusional denial. Like, no, Modi's number one. No, Modi never hurt anyone. Modi love it. Muslim love Modi. Muslim love Modi more. Like they always say stuff like that. And even the women's rights thing of like he helped Muslim women get out of marriages. It's like, yeah, dude, but he's obvious. Like there is a depopulate back agenda. Depopulate the Muslims agenda. And it's not righteous. Sorry. It's just quite frankly not righteous. It's a very negative way of thinking. And it's the negative way of thinking that itself is creating the problem. The whole fight, all this intergenerational trauma, it is projecting evil and then kind of manifesting it in the other. And then they take that in and then they kind of project this evil and they manifest it out of you. So really it is in a, like that trauma that goes back and forth between communities. It's very low vibration, and I'll tell you, you're just not getting all the information. I've said this before. You're just not getting, if you look at the scale, right? You look at the scale and it's like at the top, you're getting the full amount of loving kindness energy coming in, right? This is Hindu. This is very Hindu teaching. But at the bottom, you got a lot of love blockers up. If you hate another community or if you want to marginalize a community or try to depopulate them, that means you're living in fear. You're living in lack. You're seeing an illusion. You're not seeing that we are all one and we are all meant to love each other, not fight each other. So you're living down here in negativity, in fear, and you got little love blockers up. And you got little love blockers up. And the love blockers are kind of filtering through the information in a way that you want to hear it. So then you do get people saying this stuff like, oh, he's secular. He would never. No, the Muslims love him more. Dude, I have family that say shit like this. It's like, dude, that's... I mean, from my perspective, it just sounds like obvious dumb propaganda. But, it's just, we all are in our own problems. I mean, it's no judgment. Everyone's got their own issues. But I was just telling someone yesterday, like my dad and my cousin in India, they get these emails now. They get these emails from like this Hindu nationalist guy. So I think his name is Mohan Gupta. And he's like a Hindu. We got to do an episode on this guy. He's such a psycho. And every week, like every other day, every like 3 times a week, he sends an email that's like, oh, what are the Muslims doing? It's like what are the Muslims doing report? And how will the Hindu rise report? It's basically like a how will the Hindu rise report. And they're basically, like it's kind of like radicalizing because the subject line would be like, Jawaharlal Nehru was a Muslim and he sold the country and something like that. So they get riled up. So they get all riled up, and then and then the article is just, it doesn't even matter. Like if it's true, it's nonsense. I mean, it's just an article to get the people riled up, and when you're riled up, you get radicalized. And riled up is again low on the scale of righteousness. If you're riled up, you're in fear, you're in negativity, guilt. There is like a guilt in Hindus. They feel like they have to kick them out and protect everyone. Like there is this sense from even my family that's into this stuff that like we have to protect. Who will stand up, Amish? Like I'd go to these Patel conventions when I was a kid, and there'd be always a corner, just some shady guy. There's always one shady Hindu uncle there that's like, but what will we do on a Muslim? What we are going to do? These kids not doing anything. What are we going to do? Musalman coming. That's what this guy would say. Hey, Musalman coming. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Nothing. Who gives a shit? Honestly, they're only having kids because they're poor, and they're poor because of policies passed by the Hindus. Also, Hindus, another thing you have to recognize is that all the Muslims are basically ex-slave Hindus. So what do you want them to do? Like just be your slave? This is a little, so like part of this healing process, I feel like, is admitting the full past, which I feel like a lot of people never want to admit to slavery, never want to admit to, caste system issues, but like, you got to almost admit it and treat it like, okay, these are people that we had enslaved. They left. What are we going to do with them now? You know what I mean? Versus This is my enemy and I got to kill them. You know, like there should be an attitude of like, how do we heal this relationship? Not, this is my enemy. But that's all the pontifications I got for that today. You know what? Let's move on to another more sillier topic because I am just beat. I'll tell you what, I am beat. Ritik Kumar says, by the way, I'm a fan of you and I ain't hating you. Ritik Kumar, we love you, baby. Listen, you know, it just sounds like, well, with a name like Ritik Kumar, you can't blame me for thinking you're Hindu. I mean, come on, it's a Hindu on Hindu name. But you know, I got to disagree, man. I mean, it seems to me like a very openly Hindu nationalist government, and openly Hindu nationalists, openly fighting for like Hindu rights. Actively, it seems like there is a sentiment with people to, like I said, depopulate Muslims and like, you know, hurt Pakistan in some ways. There, we played a clip here of like all these people in India laughing at Pakistan falling apart. Don't laugh. You're not allowed to laugh. Okay? It's just cycling back more and more trauma to each other. I'll say it last time. We are here to love. We're not here to hate. And, you know, I do see a lot of repressive policies from the Modi government. But we're going to move on, and guess what?
Wow, we're just a little
You're just a little buttercup, and the whole
aren't we?
community is a goddamn little buttercup. I Siddiqui, what's up, baby?
Wow, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
Yes, you are. Fatty 301. Did I get Fatty 301? It's all because the Brits had money and guns. Yeah, Fatty 301. I mean, there is like it is hard to get people to recognize the effects of that. A lot of people in India don't want to. They're almost like ashamed of it. They feel like they were conquered, so they don't want to talk about it or whatever. So I don't know. Oh God, let's move on, shall we? Let's move on. Got a lot of miracles happening in America right now. A lot of miracles. But welcome to this digital ashram, people. We are here to raise the vibration, and we can only do it with you, my dearest community, here in the comments, participating, getting into lively debate, discussing the righteousness, who's a sinner, who's righteous. And in Kali Yuga, you need to get that data. You need that information. So thanks for coming in, everyone. Thanks for participating. John Connor says, I don't think we're as a society at a point where we can just accept the past and not come with an accusatory, defensive sentiment about it. John, well, first of all, let me just say this. That's a very...
Wow, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
That's very buttercup of you to leave such a beautiful, thoughtful message on that. And yeah, you're right. So, you know, I guess we just have to be patient with each other, you know? Man, my cousin's going to come live with me for a week or two, and he's a straight-up Hindu nationalist. Like, there's times where he's telling me, like, there's going to be something where these Muslims are going to get beat up, and he's, like, so happy about it. And I'm like, dude, I've asked him for, like, you're not going to go, are you? You can't. Like, the guy's broke. It's like, dude, you don't have time for this. It's hurting your own life. That's the thing that, you know, that's the most important thing to remember, is that when you carry the hatred in your heart, you're basically putting up a bunch of love blockers. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you forget that we are all one and we are meant to love each other, that means that in your mind, there's a bunch of love blockers. And each of those love blockers, it's like 5-10% energy. You're losing energy there. You're actually losing energy. So, you know, I think the starting of this, of like healing, is to recognize maybe that you're healing for yourself even. Not to think of it as like, why should I forgive them? Think of it as like, let me get the blessing. Do it for you. I need to get the blessing. I need to get the full energy coming in. I can't let 10, 20, 30% of my energy be going off in this shit. Because what is it going to lead to? You're reading articles about Jawaharlal Nehru was secretly a Muslim and he sold the country to Pakistan? Stop it. You're doing great. India's a top country. It's going to be the next great superpower in the world. So the idea that like Nehru was a Muslim and the Muslims are going to destroy us and stuff like that, it's like, you don't have time for this. You need to get together and watch China. But it is energy that is taken away from you. You know, as the Hindus say, it is the Ananda, the energy that animates us, the loving kindness energy, that Ananda. It's coming in, and you're giving 10, 20, 30% away to anyone who you're mad at. They have rent. in your mind. And that's the final word, and guess what?
What can I say? Tough titties.
Tough titties, you know? That's the nature of it. That's just the numbers that I'm telling you guys. So thank you for that comment, though. I appreciate it. Anarcho-Christian. You're missing that that's how things cringe, though. People need to make stands for their belief and values. Anarcho-Christian. Of course, anarcho-Christian's going to say that.
Yeah, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
We're all little buttercups of God. Hey, if you take a look at the right on the screen there, you'll see the grounds of our digital ashram. We are building a beautiful ashram here. This is located on an electron cloud in your heart. And if you're in the comment section right now, well, guess what? You are on the ground floor of a very powerful spiritual opportunity. There is so much vibration energy here that the roots are coming up and hugging the mountain. The rocks are floating. And this is all made possible by your like, subscribe. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, and help us build this digital ashram. Help us build this digital ashram. Let's go on to our next topic, shall we? Okay. Let's take that off. What do we got? We got... I mean, I did want to talk about this one. Here, let's put this up. Cornell University Medical School launches... Sorry, let me just make sure this is working here. Here we go. All right, let's read an article together. This is a very nice, gentler... Feels like a silly topic. Someone sent it to me as like a silly topic. Cornell University's medical school launches free anti-racism course to teach white students how to be better allies. Yeah, white students. And tells them to apologize for any 20-year-old Facebook posts that might now be offensive. Okay, so whoever wrote this article is clearly not into it. I think Daily Mail is a conservative paper, just warning. I like how they put the jot notes of the article at the top. That's so nice for a YouTuber. A big picture and just the jot notes of the article. We might not even have to read the article. Let's read it. The 5-hour virtual training course includes a series of exercises designed to help people learn to be better allies in the fight against racism. The course was initially developed in response to the global uproar instigated by the death of George Floyd in May of 2020. That's righteous. That's a nice sentiment to say, this person died, we don't like racism, let's fight back. That's actually nice. So give them some recognition, please. The training provides a series of instructions on how to apologize for 20-year-old Facebook posts that may now come off as offensive. Wow. You know, that sounds like some training that sounds like, just from a PR and like a perspective, it sounds like training that a corporation should be paying for. To be like, hey, we don't know what you guys said. It's been 20 years of Facebook. I don't know what you said. We can't let our sales go down. So everyone, here's a course on how to, if someone calls you out for a 20-year-old Facebook post, here's the system that we've created. Cut and paste the script. Obviously change the names. You know, I'll cut and paste this scripted apology. We got apology scripts pre-written. You cut and paste it, put it there, and you say, and with these responses, we've covered all the social justice bases. Nobody can come after you. If you cut and paste this response accurately, correctly, change the names. Obviously, we've left that space blank for you so you don't make a mistake. But do that. Read it once or twice. Send it to one of our counselors. They can check it. You post that. No cancel. Let's read the comments on this conservative. 159 comments. Interesting. Better allies. What if we don't want to be allies at all? Okay, little black olive. Well, that's not righteous either, is it? Dear Cornell, KMA, sincerely me. What is that? I don't know what KMA means. How are things going to get any more stupid? So I guess the people don't like it. Nope, toughen up. Wow, so you must apologize to the chronically offended. Therefore, this will last forever. SMH, no woke classes. What's SMH? Shit my head? Shit my head? I don't know. Can someone tell me what SMH is in the comments? Because I just... Babaji's getting old. Babaji's getting old. No woke classes, no self-flagellation. Just live your life. If you have to tiptoe everywhere, you'll go insane. I mean, that is true. It's like, what? How? You got to do a class for this? Wow. So you must apologize for the crime. Okay, no. Wow. So you must apologize. Okay. Well, dude, you're just putting the same comment. The moral decay of this administration oozing with stupidity. So racist. Okay. No, don't do newest. Do. No. Oh my God, there's a video.
Your lottery dreams could be that much closer with Direct Pay at OLG.ca. A fast and easy way to play.
Such a scam, like selling these, and they got to put black people. It's like a big scam on black people, I think. The lotteries. That's what I heard on John Oliver. John Oliver did a good piece on this. And Ontario's got to get the money. You got to just do anything for the money, don't you?
Plus, no fees when using your credit card. Sign up now.
Hello again. Being good allies requires accountability. If you've created an action plan, find ways to remind yourself to follow up on your intentions. Allyship also requires practice and openness to vulnerability when making mistakes. Be gentle with yourselves, as nobody is born a perfect ally. But all of us have the capacity to learn and improve from our errors. If you're looking to expand on what you've learned so far, look for our extensive list of books, videos, and other resources covering a wide range of allyship topics. If you have a resource to contribute, please contact us. Thank you.
Snooze fest. Dude, that sounds like a boring freaking class, man. Doesn't it? I mean, the guy is just not that fun, charismatic. Are people mad about this? Does this bother the community? Huh? I guess it is. I mean, it is like weird when you think about it. I mean, this guy on the right, though, he hasn't done anything wrong. They could have cropped him out. He looks like he's fine, but these people are all sinners. I guess, insensitive. You conquered another race and then you got to dress up like them and be like, oh, look, I'm this guy. You conquered them, didn't you? You genocided them. Actually, the other day on Twitter, someone had a poll up. They were like, what's America's original sin? Genocide or slavery? And I was like, genocide? And then I was like, oh, genocide. Yeah, no, I remember that. And that's it, right there. They do it, and then, because I guess that's what it is. That's what people are offended by, is that you genocided them, and now you're just putting on their clothes. You're like, you gotta take, can they have one thing? Racial insensitivity class. Interesting. I mean, the Prime Minister did it, so. And it's in the medical program. Wow, what an interesting guy. Choose your skills. Consider modules. Consider modules 1 to 3. Pick one skill that you have already been practicing but would like to strengthen, and 2 new skills that you learned about and would like to try out. Once you have identified the 3 skills that are most important to you, prepare yourself to set goals for them. Module 1, becoming your own teachers, authentic allyship. Module 2, avoiding fundamental attribution error. Okay. Module 3, embrace, amplify, nominate, sponsor, mentor, active bystandership, disrupt white spaces. Oh my God. Why do you got to disrupt white spaces? Like, don't I have shit to do? Can I not just live my life? I got to disrupt white spaces now? This is not righteous. I'm sorry, but you made a class that says disrupt white spaces. This is not righteous. It's there, do some real activism. What is this? You're just going to go to a white party and be like, nah, too many white. Everyone white. Everyone white at this party. Maybe not enough allies. What's going on? It's like, dude, you're going to just go, imagine someone just goes into a restaurant. They're like, everyone in this restaurant is white and we need to look at ourselves. Is that what they want? That is just so awkward, dude. How could you do that? How could you teach this? It's not righteous. What do you guys think in the comments? Is this righteous to teach this? Imagine you're just white and living life, and imagine you're white and you're poor. Imagine you're white and you're short and you're ugly and you're poor. You're fucked more than anyone. You can't even get like some kind of affirmative action shit. So you're fucked more than anyone. And I've seen these people. They're not happy. There's a masculinity crisis. Imagine this guy. He's mustered up the courage to get out of the house. He's gonna go out. He's gonna do something. And then as soon as he gets there, someone's gonna be like, too white. You're too white. Everyone's white here. That's so weird, man. Terms to know: BIPOC, cancel culture, cultural appropriation, POC, Latinx, microaggression, racial disparity, woke, allyship. Okay. When a person of privilege works in solidarity and partnership with a marginalized group of people to help take down the systems that challenge that group's basic rights, equal access, and ability to thrive in our society. That sounds actually kind of righteous. I mean, that's a nice thing to do, you know? Like, if you see someone being oppressed all the time in your community, don't just be like, well, not my problem. Maybe you should. I remember when I was in India too, man, the Muslims were treated kind of shitty. And it took like a special kind of Hindu to stand up for the one Muslim guy. There's not a lot of people did it. Sometimes a Hindu, it's like very few Hindus, because the other people are such assholes. They're gonna slap you around, maybe beat the shit out of you. They're gonna beat the shit out of the Muslim guy, and then you get in to help the Muslim guy. It's like, no, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. So most people don't help. But when I was there, like, yeah, they were mean to the Muslim. There was like one Muslim guy, and they treated him like, you stay out of line. You stay in line. We're not gonna let you come here and fuck around. You stay in fucking line. And he was like, he knew his place. He was like very quiet. Like, okay, yeah, okay. So I come. I'm happy I come. That's it. Like one Muslim guy they let into the school. Out of like 50 in that grade. And yeah, you know, very, very few times did a teacher or a student say like, hey, don't treat him, you know, like treat him, welcome him into our community. Like, don't be like that. Very few. Like, there's maybe one teacher said it, and maybe like one or two students stood up and said, hey man, like, leave him alone. He's my friend. Like, that's it. Everyone else was just like, nope. You are. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting because it's like an attempt to be overly righteous, and then it ends up being kind of weird and like laughed at, I think. But what do you guys think in the comments? Tell me what you think. And then I'm gonna get out of here. I do kind of want to watch this Elon Musk thing because it's weird. It's like, I do want to ask just to say, like, does anyone feel what I'm feeling right now about COVID, about Ukraine, about all these things? Like, it does seem like you have to go along with this narrative, and people are just choosing to be kind of like, well, I just trust the government. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. I think they knew what the best thing is. So I do like that he's questioning. But before we get into that, tell me what you guys think of the Allyship class. Oh my God, I'm so tired today. Thanks for coming, everyone. Guess what?
Yeah, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
We are just a little buttercup. All my little buttercups have gotten Mick Zamzam. Rewind Cat is back. Rewind Cat is like, we're talking about 5-6 days in a row. I'm getting some hearts. Hit the hearts. Ritik Kumar says, what's your favorite Indian food? I like black chana. I'm gonna go deep, and that's how you know I'm a real Gujarati, dude. I'm a real Hindu Gujarati. I have a Hindutva. Hindutva is like how righteously Hindu you are. Hindutva. What a weird word. I just learned it a couple of years ago. They are very powerful in Hindutva. That means, yeah. So that I'm so Gujarati and Hindu that I eat black chickpeas. I'm not eating these white chickpeas like the Punjabi chickpeas. It's okay. It's okay. Little bland, little, you know, whatever. Black chickpeas, kick in the ass, dude. It'll fuck you up. It's good shit. It's the best black chickpeas you can get. Gujarati black chickpeas, it's the best chickpeas. The chickpea curry, it's insane. It's so good. I'm going to have some today. It's crazy. I basically have, like, my mom's sick. I'm taking care of her. I went partying yesterday. I told the girl I was with, I'm like, you know, she had a heart attack, stents put in, and she was like, oh my God, me too. Me too. Her mom too. It was a basis of connection. It's very good. Very good. But bad that they have the heart attack. But it's crazy because my mom now, she can't breathe. And she has 2 tenants in the basement. And the fucking other second tenant, he's gonna leave in a week. And my mom's like, Amish, come here. Basement tenant, his car, leave an oil spot. You tell him he have to pay. You tell him you have to pay for it. I'm like, Mom, just leave it now. It's fine. There's a couple of oil spots. I mean, yes, there are a few more oil spots that his car was under, but these guys are paying like $2,000 a month in rent for, not that long, for 6-8 months. But they also showed us that we could rent the other piece of the basement, but it's thousands of dollars. And I just feel like, okay, definitely the oil spots are under his car. But then I was just like, yeah, just talk to him. I mean, it's fair, right? It's fair. It's not like the Costco air conditioner that she returned. Dude, the last tenants that left, she bought a air conditioner from Costco. They had it for like 4 years, 6 years, something like that. It's covered in oil because they're deep fryers, Punjabi deep fryers, covered in oil, and then the oil is covered in bugs. These guys move out. She's like, Amish, get the air conditioner. I take it back. And I'm like, what do you mean? You can't return this thing. Yeah, I return. I don't give a damn. I return it. I don't care. She's like, I'm going to return the AC. 6 years later, it's covered in shit. I'm like, Mom, you're a millionaire. Just cool it. You don't need to do this. And this is while she's sick, too. She's in the middle of, like, surgeries and this, and she's like, she can't let go of this little bit of cash. She's like, no, you take it. Don't be soft, stupid. And then I was like, okay, Mom. And I was going to tell my sisters, because I knew my sister would come over and be like, Mom, you are not returning this. Like, we're rich. There's no reason to do this. They no. He told me that sometimes it's working slowly. So they take it. I don't care. Like, she's hard on it. Anyway, next day I come back. I surrendered. I said, you know what, Mama? You're 85 years old. And it's going to stress her out. You know what I mean? It's just, that's the kind of, she's like this. So I surrender. I said, okay, Mama, I'll take it back. I come back the next day. She's like, I tell your cousin to take it because you soft and your sister is stupid. I don't care. I tell your cousin, I say, he right away take it. Not like you. Question, oh, this and that. Shut up. He take it. Dude, she just, yeah. She's got someone else to do it. Hard ass woman. And now this guy in the basement, she's like, Amish, you find him, tell him he give us more money. His oil spot. I'm like, you can't breathe. It costs $250, $300. Someone will come do it. I'll do it. But no, I'll talk to him. I'm going to talk to him. Right after this podcast, it's the first thing. I got to go talk to this guy. I got to be like, hey, man, it's a lot of oil spots under your car. And it's $350. I got to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? After just taking like we're talking about like $8,000, $10,000 really for nothing. The basement's just empty sitting there. And we upgraded a bit. I'm not even upgraded. Like, we got like a thing installed, and it's still like a net profit. But the oil is there. It is under his car, so it's fine. And that's why I wanted to tell you guys, you know what? Anything you got going on in your life, take life by the horns. Face it direct. It's nothing wrong, Have a little talk. Just say, hey, man, a lot of oil spots under your car. It's $350. I'm going to tell you know what I'm going to tell him? I'm going to be like, she just had 2 heart attacks. She's stressed out. Just give her $150, dude. And it's an Indian guy, so I think he'll just do it. I think that's my angle I'm going to go with. I'm like, hey, man, listen, I know it seems like a lot, but she's stressed out. She's had 2 heart attacks. Just give her. You don't need to give her the full $350 or $250, whatever. Just give her like $150. Let's call it a day. You don't want her to have a heart attack. That's good. That's my angle. What do you guys think of that? That's a good angle, right? Raises everyone's vibration. He's going to feel good. He's going to be like, oh, this grandma, I'll help her out. You know what I mean? He's going to be like, Auntie, no problem. I give you, Auntie, no problem. I'm sorry, my car, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? But whereas if I go in fighting, it's going to be like, nah, man, not my car. You can't prove it. Prove it. Prove it was my car. It's under his car, actually. Prove it. You can't prove it. Someone could have parked one time and just dropped all that oil on the thing. Yeah, but she just had 2 heart attacks. She's had a cancer, so she's lost 10 pounds. Cancer surgery, 2 heart attacks, can barely breathe. She's lost 10 pounds. help a woman out. She is, she's sleeping 3 times a day. She's waking up and she's just like saying, Amish, Amish, you tell him, basement tenant, the lock, key break, there's a $6.99 fee, $8.99 fee. You tell him you have to pay $8.99 more for key. You tell him, go. I'm like, Mom, just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. But you know what? That's what we can all learn something about life. Don't let it go. Life. Keep fighting in life. My dad, he would get a little bit sick. And he was like, no, I don't want to. No, you don't do it. I'm tired now. You do it. You tell your mom. I don't know. Like, if he does one piece of work, he would be like, I got to take a nap now. That's my day. That's all we're doing today. My mom, dude, she just keeps on. She fucking get it done. Get it fucking done. Kind of attitude. And I'm seeing a lot of hearts here. So I know a lot of your moms are psychopaths too. So anyway, thanks for coming. Anarcho-Christian, guilt them with the heart attacks. You'll get the money. Anarcho-Christian, right? If Anarcho-Christian thinks so. I mean, it's got to be. You know what I mean? That's got to be the move. She just had 2 heart attacks, buddy. And I think there's 4 or 5 in between, little ones in between going on. Just give her the money. Just give her the money. Don't get into an argument. I don't want her to stress out. Oh. It is like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. Like this, the oil's under your car. It is under the car. That's the spot that you park. And that's where the oil all is. Now, we can't charge you for the whole thing because there are a couple of spots here, a couple of spots there. God is great. $350, that's on you. Brother, it is righteous. Let's split it up. Let's call it a day. Give her $100. If you go 50, she's going to feel offended. She's going to be like, you insult me. You take advantage of me. I'm old, whatever. Maybe she had a heart attack. But if you go 150, you don't want an old lady's, heart attack on your hands.
When you let go, you let God.
Let go and let God have that $150. You're not giving it to her, you're giving it to God.
When you let go, you let God.
Let go of $150, brother. Thanks, everyone, for coming.
Yeah, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
You're all just a bunch of goddamn little buttercups. Whoever's dropping these hearts, I love you. Look at these hearts. Hearts. I can't see how many people are in here because of the way that I've set it up, but do I need to see it? The rips are righteous. I can measure the vibration. I can tell you the vibration's through the roof right now. And if you look to my, the left, you'll see the grounds of the most beautiful ashram that we are building. We are building a church of loving kindness, people. We're building a church of loving kindness. And this is our grounds, and it is some fantastic real estate. It's located on an electron cloud in your heart. And when you go down to that microscopic size, there's whole universes in there. And I found a nice piece of real estate. And you can see the source energies flowing through. The clouds are there. Those clouds, that's an electron cloud, is floating around the clouds. And there's so much source vibration that the tree roots are coming up and they're hugging the mountain. And the rocks are floating in a circle, floating. That's your likes and your subscribes of the congregation, making it float. And that building, I don't have the shot ready today, but I'm going to put in the shot tomorrow. It is equal underground as it is upground. So we're getting double the ashram. Babaji got double the ashram. I said, no, my congregation needs more. Double it. And they built, it's actually equal side underground. And there's other shots of the ashram that I can get for you guys that show you the bottom half. And we'll show that, I'll make sure that that's in there for tomorrow. But, oh my God, right now, what are we going to talk about? Anarcho-Christian, thank you for coming. Rewind Cat, McZemzem, Laird Kamikoto. What if the renter has a magic substance that can remove all the spots and he promises by the end of the day all spots will be gone? Well, then God is great. We are fair people, brother. Then we will say, okay, then finished. The work is done. My mom, she is a psycho, but it is a reasonable psychoticness. It is reasonable. Like, it is weird that she's waking up. She can barely walk. She can barely breathe. She's like out of breath, but she's like Tell him that he's paying for the fucking oil on the fucking driveway. I'll get him. Thanks for coming, everyone. Well, let's do one last topic. Who is righteous here? I got a couple of Elon Musk clips, and I gotta say, man, I'm getting a weird feeling about this. Not there. Oh, this is an interesting one. The death penalty to child rapists. I do want to talk, because that is a propaganda as far as I'm concerned. Tesla just got snubbed by oh, this one. Where's the one I wanted to show you, though? Oh, this one I wanted to show you. Let's watch this one first. And we will have a discussion. Elon Musk, is he righteous?
You've changed the COVID misinformation.
Has BBC changed its COVID misinformation? Does the BBC hold itself at all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccinations and not reporting on that at all? And what about the fact that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not an interview about...
What a loser. This guy, I gotta say, this interviewer, if you guys have seen any of these clips, very low righteousness. Elon Musk, put him on one side. Whatever you want to say, is he righteous, is he not? That's a complex discussion. We'll get into it. Last year, he was pretty firmly across, like, he had a case for righteousness a year ago. When he took over Twitter, we're seeing a fall in righteousness with him, quite frankly. I mean, I can only report the numbers, and I can tell you the vibration, it's not what it was last year. Is he going to make a comeback? I don't know. But in this situation specifically, this BBC reporter, not righteous.
Out the BBC.
Oh, you thought it wasn't?
You've changed the COVID misinformation.
What a loser, dude. It's not about the BBC. It's about you. But why not? You're a journalist. Why not get into it? You're here to do research. You're here to talk about, what the hell's going on. Don't just say it's not about the BBC. It's about you. Sorry, low righteousness. Look at the numbers, people. The numbers are right there. The numbers don't lie. That's low righteousness. To just say, because then you're hiding. And anytime you're hiding, you're blocking out love. You're blocking out love. The Sufis say that existence itself is God. Everything is God. And we are just a little drop in that ocean, but the entire ocean is in the drop. So if you say you did COVID misinformation and the guy said BBC did COVID misinformation, if he had enough righteousness, he would say, oh, that is a story too. I'm a journalist. I will do the research. What do you mean by it? Tell me, inform me. So then the BBC is also doing misinformation, but you also did misinformation. Why not say that? Why not say, okay, yeah, BBC made some mistakes. Okay, so on this, BBC made mistakes. That's not righteous. Admitted, put on one side. Now tell me, you, Twitter owner, Elon Musk, is it righteous for you to also do it? Then I could give him some points on righteousness, because then he's getting into the issue. But this is a common thing you see with, like, it is very left wing to just be like, no, don't talk about it. No, don't talk about it. Just it's like this. They want to go along with this narrative. Like, there's so much that has come about COVID misinformation, mishandling. So much has come out about Ukraine. That's like, just. I'm not even saying with Ukraine that, like, if you want, you can support the war, fine. But, like, just the idea that if something comes out that doesn't look pro-Ukraine, there's a lot of people that just won't admit it. They'll just be like, no, what is that, Putin information? No, don't look at that. It's like, just look at it. What's real is real, All creation is God. And if you could see it like that, then you'll see God there too. But if you have love blockers up, that's your little love blockers, your biases. People have these, like, blinders on where they're like, oh, I can't look at that information. I can't look at that information. So then if you're only taking in this information, then of course you're brainwashed. Of course. It's like, this is an establishment narrative. You guys know what I'm talking. Am I going crazy here? Am I going kooky? Am I going kooky conspiracy theory? Let's go with one more. Let's do one more Elon, and then I'm going to come ask you guys, is Elon Musk, is he righteous? Is he righteous? Is he righteous? Elon?
I think if we could, there's that
Tech executive Elon Musk sat down with CNBC last night and gave his assessment of President Biden's presidency so far.
Do I believe Biden won? Yes, I believe he won.
And you voted for him.
I did, actually.
Do you regret that?
I mean, man, I wish we could have just a normal human being as president. That's what I want. I think if we could...
Not really a righteous answer there. Be substantive. Don't just say, because that's just a personal insult. It'd be nice if I had a normal human being. Okay, well, like, do you have, like, what's your problem? Just go straight to the problem. And I'll tell you what the problem is in a second. This is...
You know, there's that old saying of, like, we're better off being run by people picked at random from the phone book than the faculty of Harvard.
Yeah.
I don't know who said that, but someone very wise. And I would say if we could do that for the president, that would be great.
You think that would be beneficial? So you're not, obviously you're not happy with Biden.
Don't we all just want a normal human being to be
Whatever
the president?
that means.
What does that mean, normal human being as president? Let's see their pontifications. These guys have very powerful pontifications, and I'm tired. I'm going to let them pontificate it.
Say what you want about Joe Biden. I think the criticism isn't that he's not normal.
So that quote is from William F. Buckley, the founder of National Review.
Cool. So what policies does Elon Musk care about?
Wow, the stank. Cool. That quote that's like, it's better if we just get a random person. It's a very anti-establishment mentality.
Is he a president? In what ways would he like the country to be different? Does he care about declining economic prospects for working class people? Does he care about the healthcare crisis? Does he care about the housing crisis? Is he care?
Exactly. Dude, her rips are so righteous. It's insane. Like, I mean, this Brianna Joy Gray, honestly, it's like the most righteous person in our society today. I really do mean that. You're not going to get, like, the pontifications are just so powerful. They're always accurate, always righteous. And I can't believe how many people are like, they just won't go past the surface level of the news. And it's like, she just goes right into the meat of it. It's tight. It's righteous. I highly recommend. She used to be Bernie Sanders' press secretary.
Caring about the environmental crisis? Does he care? Does he think his taxes are too high? Does he think his taxes are too low? What would he like out of a president? I mean, it's just a really odd, there are a lot of things to substantively criticize Biden about. We do it every day on this show. But Biden's strength, and frankly, why he was able to be successful in 2020, and why, despite a lot of different things, he's had a successful political year for decades now, is because he comes off as very approachable. He's frankly very likable, and he's kind of a normie in a world where a lot of people are caught in online silos. And maybe Elon Musk, not perceiving him to be a normal person, is more reflective of Elon Musk's own community, which I think is kind of atypical.
Yeah, because Elon Musk himself is a bit of a robot guy. He is a silly guy. He's not like normal. That's why he's getting it all done. He's kooky. He's kooky, silly guy. So for him to say Biden's not normal, it's like, come on, bucko. You're weird. It is like if someone comes, it's like if someone is like super like ugly, like pronounced ugly, and they're like, I wouldn't bang that girl. She's a 2. It's like, no, you're a 2. But that's what Elon Musk is doing here on sort. But I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you the real reason. The real reason is this, and really it's Biden's fault that this happened because Biden held an electric vehicle summit, okay? He held an electric vehicle summit and he doesn't invite Tesla, so that's not righteous. That's wrong of Biden, right? And we have to stop this fighting. We have to stop. The culture's too divided. Why do something like this? Why do something like this? Like, you know how much of an insult it is? Like, I'll tell you as a brown person, even if someone's getting married, right? You don't send them an invite. People are gonna talk. Whole community talking. And you have to be like, why wasn't I invited? Okay, so this family wasn't invited. What happened? What's the beef? What's the issue? Let's talk about it. Okay, cool. We expect an invite. Thank you. We are your 4th cousin twice removed. And we have not insulted you in any way. So our not invitation, is it because you are attacking our grandmother? And you are attacking our family? Then I will expect an invitation. That's what happens if you miss one invitation on a Patel wedding, on an Indian, you know what I mean? Like this, there has to be some sense of righteousness here. If Biden does an electric vehicle summit and you don't invite Tesla, you don't invite Elon Musk, he made them all. And all these other car companies are just taking the technology from him, and they're doing it too now, but they took the technology because he gave it away and he did it first. Let's have a little respect, right? And this is the problem with the culture right now. It's Kali Yuga and people are fighting. People are looking for any excuse to fight. So first Biden does this. Why? Nobody knows. And now, of course, Elon is hell-bent on defeating Biden. It's crazy. He just ran the DeSantis campaign's Twitter launch, which on a superficial level, apparently the DeSantis Twitter launch went bad. His presidential run Twitter launch, it was bad. But apparently on a more substantive level, it was actually more successful than anything on MSNBC, CNN. So, but this is what you get, Biden. You should have invited him. Why not invite him? Why insult the community like this? Did the GM people tell you? Did the GM call you and say, no, we don't like him? Because sometimes Patels will do that too. If there's a big wedding coming up, they'll call the person getting married and they'll say, I want to come to the wedding, but I was insulted so badly by these people. And I just don't know if I can come now. I don't know if I can celebrate in my good cheer with your son and daughter getting married. I cannot do it. Because if they are there, then it will be on my mind. And I don't want to make any problems. After what he did to me, you know what he did to me. If you invite him, that's okay. I will not come. So now that guy has to not invite the other guy. Now the other guy's going to call and say, hey, excuse me, we didn't get an invite. Well, we will. Why don't we have one summit? It's called a Patel Summit. They get together and they have the talk. And they say, I have not insulted you. And I'm your fourth cousin twice removed. So if I do not get an invitation to their wedding, then I will only assume that our family is dishonored and insulted. So and we have not done anything to dishonor you. So I expect an invitation. Then the other guy can say, hey, but you did not insult me, but you insulted my very good friend. And what you did to them is wrong. Fix it. And let's make a celebration of love. And then they'll get together and celebrate hard. And we need that moment for Elon and Joe Biden. Because, after Joe Biden insulted him like this is a big slap in the face. It's hard to imagine here, but I think my Patel analogy is more relatable for people. It's definitely more relatable for me, but I think you can understand what I'm saying here. This guy busted his ass for the electric vehicles. They wouldn't be out without him. And Biden doesn't invite him? It's unacceptable, people. Let's watch the video. And I'm going to get out of here after this.
The promises of electric vehicles seem endless. Using electricity generated by wind, sun, or water, they could potentially remove personal transportation from the global warming equation. And without big internal combustion engines and transmissions, electric cars could be designed around people and their cargo rather than around machinery. Plus, their batteries have the power to handle all that self-driving technology we keep hearing about.
I'm sold.
So they promise to be safer, too. For those reasons and more, the shift to electric is inevitable. In 2018, the number of electric vehicles on the world's roads reached over 5 million, a 40% increase from the year before. That momentum should continue. Prices for battery power have...
Even that is because of Elon. He did execute on getting the power distribution up and the sales and everything. I mean, the guy...
fallen rapidly over the last few years and are expected to continue dropping.
That was his peak righteousness, if I might say, of Elon. Yes, his righteousness has fallen in years because he took over Twitter and it's a toxic environment. It's all fighting. It's a low vibration thing to do. But before the Twitter takeover, he was at peak maximum righteousness, Elon Musk, because he pulled this off. And this is a big feat. And I know some people hate him and they just hated him then too. And I never understood it. Now, if you hate him, I understand it.
As more battery factories are built and manufacturing technologies improve. But for now, there are challenges slowing wider adoption of electric vehicles. For starters, they need more range, more places to charge, and just more variety. Today's electric offerings tend to fall on either end of a spectrum. On one hand, cheap hatchbacks that are still more expensive than their gasoline-powered equivalents. On the other hand, pricey luxury cars. That said, all of this will change over the next few years as automakers bring more electric cars to market.
Available as electric, hybrid, and plug-in hybrid.
The good news is that the mechanical simplicity of electric cars, they have a fraction of the moving parts in a gasoline car, makes designing and engineering new model variants.
How come before Elon Musk this was just impossible? There's no way, you can't do it, it's impossible, and the guy got it done. And I'm going to come back to comments because I know some of you guys are going to be pissed. I'll come back to comments. Keep the vibration high, though. Keep popping those hearts, and I'll be right back to service you in the community.
Relatively easy. Plus, companies like Volkswagen and General Motors are also backing rollouts of big fast-charging networks. With all this on the way, some analysts predict that within the next 20 years, EVs will make up the majority of cars sold.
Well, I'll just say it. I'll say it like this. Elon Biden, no fighting. No fighting. Where does stealing Tesla from the original owners land him on the scale of righteousness? Brian. Well, guess what, Brian? Let me tell you something.
Well, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
Even though you talk back to Babaji and you question me, you're still a buttercup. Still a buttercup of God. That's how God sees you, like a little buttercup. But what's righteous is the work ethic. Sorry, but I mean, it is, the work ethic is righteous. Did he get a bunch of grants from the government? Yeah, fine, fair enough. But like, you know, he pushed it through. You know what I mean? It's like if a mother gives birth to a kid who wins a gold medal, but also maybe he's a pervert and he just grabs people's bums, guys and girls. Imagine he's a gold medalist swimmer, right? But he's the kind of guy that he goes to the bar and he's like, it's so packed in here, I can just grab people's bums. I grab those guys' bums and I grab that guy's bum too. You can't look at his mother and say she's a complete failure, everything's failed. He's a gold medalist swimmer. He's doing this weird bum pinching, you know, but at least he's doing it to guys and girls. And it's wrong, and he should stop doing it. But are we going to write him off as like, he didn't win the gold medal? He won the gold medal, right? So that, I feel like that a little bit about Elon, is that like, yes, is he becoming a weirdo? Is he getting weird with Twitter and becoming like, maybe getting into some conspiracy shit? But not really. I mean, I thought his clip about COVID was pretty accurate. BBC and like the mainstream media did put out a lot of fake news about COVID, and we all just kind of give him a free pass. But if Elon Musk says it, the whole culture is like, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. He's doing vaccine conspiracies. Okay. If these guys are bad people for doing vaccine conspiracies, why you should also look at those other people and say like, okay, they pushed a lot of shit that was just going to make billions of dollars for a pharmaceutical company sitting in a position of power. They were getting advertising revenue from pharmaceutical companies, and they sold you a lot of stuff that wasn't true either. Be fair, both sides, no fighting. Be fair on both sides. That's all I'm saying. Brian says, lol. Brian, you're lolling at me? I don't know. What do you guys think? So you saw what Elon Musk Twitter did regarding Turkish politics, and I think he took an L. Ritik Kumar. Yeah, and I think he took an L in India too, because in India, I think the Modi government, and now Ritik Kumar is going to get upset. But the Modi government went to Twitter and said, you have to stop, like, you have to give us the information on all these people that are terrorists because they support the Farmers March. So they took an L on that one too, in my opinion. Love you, Ritik. Thanks for coming, and we love your Christian community. Hey, Ritik Kumar, you're welcome, and your whole Christian community is welcome here. Thanks for coming. Gorguruga, long time present.
Yeah, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
Musk getting into biotech with his Neuralink just got FDA approved. Yeah, that's a big one. So Musk, we're going to do ongoing coverage of Musk. Is he righteous? I'm going to say in this regard, though, of attacking Biden and of, you know, saying like, hey, like, you know, I'm trying to run this Twitter thing and we made some mistakes on COVID, but like, you're from the BBC. You guys made some mistakes. In both of these cases, I'm going to have to give Elon the righteousness score here. His righteousness is high in both of these circumstances. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. In these situations, his righteousness is correct. Because why would Biden not invite him? That's wrong, people. That is wrong. You have to give everyone in the community an invite. It's a summit. You've created a summit, and you're not going to invite Elon Musk. It's unacceptable. So I'm going to say the righteousness is with him on Biden. Come up with something better than like, I want a normal human being, because you're a weirdo yourself. So you can't be looking at anyone and saying that guy's a weirdo. It's like, you're weird, dude. But hey, thanks for coming, everyone. I do appreciate ya. And I do want to watch, actually, there is death penalty to child rapists. I mean, that's a heavy topic right now. But I do want to show you a channel of this guy. We're going to end with a motivational talk from, this is the kind of people I like, giving motivationals. Make sure you check out this guy's channel. This guy will raise your vibration. If you're a man, this guy will raise your vibration. He's very powerful. And I know he's from Russia, but that's fine too, okay? We have to learn to love. We're not meant to fight, we're meant to love.
Does your life suck? Are you suffering? Are you in pain? Good. You are on a good path. Suffering is the only way to the top. Pain is the only way to change. Obstacles are the only way to success. American TV commercials made us believe that everything in this life should be smooth and easy. Wow. Counselors and teachers told us that we should not have aggressions and conflicts in life. You have been lied to. Go your way, brother, and let it be an honorable way. A way that make your ancestors proud. You will face pain on this way, suffering, frustration, humiliation. Accept the pain. Smile at the pain. Embrace the pain. Slogan. Pain is the gatekeeper of destiny. Pain is there to ask you one simple question. Do you really want to achieve your goals? Or are you just a talker? Tell your pain wherever you want to go. Pain will build the stairway to the top. This is Krim Khasov. Be honorable.
That is righteous. Oh, man. See, I do want to talk about RFK, too. I do want to talk about RFK, but what righteousness. Very high, people. Very high on the scale. Let it raise your vibration. That's powerful. That guy is my favorite. I don't usually like the motivational people. I find them a little corny, but that guy, because he's so evil, it's so tight, right? Very high righteousness. And he's teaching a meditation. Accept the pain. Surrender to the pain. The only way out is through. And now I got to talk to the guy in the basement and say, hey, pal, a lot of oil spots on the driveway. And you got to pay for it. Thanks for coming, everyone. John Connor, thank you. Is Tesla even that big of a player? For real, it's a small luxury car company. Historically, all these companies do is fail and be bought by the large consumer car companies. Yeah, and John, they're constantly given bailouts by the government. And it's like, sure, maybe if Tesla's numbers... Is Tesla a small car company? I thought Tesla was like, they push the innovation on it. And I just think out of respect, they should be there, even if the numbers aren't there. But if you do electric to electric, I think they're comparable to the other ones. I'll have to look into it. By the way, don't forget about Abhijit Iyer Mitra. He has political defense and analysis. Okay, Abhijit Iyer Mitra. I actually kind of want to watch him right now. Because I guarantee you it's going to be some Hindu nationalist stuff. But I will not. I will. Ayurjit Iyer Mitra. How the U.S. uses state. Oh, this guy. Oh, dude, this guy's such a Hindu nationalist. Are you crazy? This dude is so Hindu nationalist. This guy's fighting for the Hindus. I think he would even admit that. Let's check this guy out. Oh my God, this is actually dangerous because this is the kind of guy that's gonna yell at us and be like, "You are a total fucking gay. Fuck you, bitch." Like this guy rips. I've seen this guy a bunch actually. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, but yeah, like I do think he's a Hindu nationalist. I think he's just proud of it too. I don't think he would even deny that he's Hindu nationalist. I think he'd be like, "Why not? Why not? India's number one." World War III possibility broken down by Abhijit Mir. Okay, Afghans hate Pakistan.
You either use the internet for fun or you use the internet to grow. You're here to grow. Welcome to TRS Clips.
Wow, what a great intro.
Taliban is gearing up for a bit of a battle with Pakistan. That's true.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So, you know, I got one thing very, very wrong in my analysis when I came back, and I got one thing very, very right. What I got very, very wrong was thinking that the Afghan army will be able to put up a fight after the Americans left. And, you know, when the government forces collapsed, we were doing satellite analysis. I wasn't wrong in that they probably could have put up a fight. They didn't want to put up a fight. What they do is at the point of contact between the Taliban forces and the army, they would go up to the point of contact, they would abandon their tanks or armored vehicles and without them getting destroyed, and they would just move back. So it was more like they threw the battle than they lost the battle.
Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. This is like, we need to get India's friendly neighbor. Let's see this.
Pakistan manages to weaponize its communities abroad, whereas India manages to weaponize its communities abroad against itself. Because the loudest, shrillest voices you'll hear against India are NRIs. So there is that. But, you know, when we say it's the end of the road for Pakistan, sorry to bring it back to FATF, I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. The Pakistani feudal elite who control society, that is the so-called industrialists, the so-called military, and the so-called landowners, they're all the same families. They pretend to be different categories. They're all the same families intermarried into each other. Army generals, none of their families are in Pakistan proper. They all live abroad. They all have dual citizenship. So what you're going to see is that even if Pakistan fails,
just the happiness of like Pakistan failing. I mean, I think this guy's just a proud Hindu nationalist. I have not seen any evidence of it so far. Like, I don't want to just paint him as a Hindu nationalist for the hell of it, but I feel like I've just seen him because I've seen a bunch of clips from the Sam Shetty show or Sham Sharma show, and he's on it, and his points are always like, Hindus number one, get rid of these Muslims. That's kind of, I mean, would he even be offended by that? I think he'd be like, yeah, that's what I think. I think he would just admit it.
Pakistan is going to go on because the pain of the Pakistani people is not what determines Pakistani policy. It is the pain of the Pakistani elite that determines policy. And how are these countries going to crack down? How is the UAE going to crack down on one of its highest disposable income groups? How is America going to crack down on its own citizens just because they have a dual passport without getting rid of the entire dual passport thing? How is Britain going to do that, especially when Britain is one of the biggest stashing points of ill-gotten gains from Pakistan? So the elite will never feel pressured. So FATF, sanctions, all of that, it's just an eyewash. It's a joke. You're hitting the wrong target. It's like going to the doctor saying, doctor, mere ko piliya hai, I have jaundice. And the doctor, instead of putting you on treatment for your liver because it's a liver disease, he says, you're looking very yellow. You can choose either between Yves Saint Laurent Foundation or Christian Dior Foundation to apply on your face so that the yellowness goes.
Interesting. Okay, well, nothing bad there. So, why India needs Rafael Jess? Okay. Look, I gotta come back. I gotta watch some of these clips. No matter what India does to Pakistan, the West keeps supplying it with weapons. That's true too. His exceptional and hilarious analysis of China and Pakistan. Okay, national anthem. Yeah, I think he's like a proud Hindu nationalist, is he not? Ritik Kumar, tell me. But I think I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. Thanks for coming, everyone. Appreciate you. We're gonna get into Abhijit Iyer Mitra more in the next episode. Kind of glad I came in today, so I appreciate you guys for coming because I wasn't gonna come. I was just so tired. Oh my god. But we squeezed it out. Felt a little constipated at times today. Felt a little emotionally constipated, but we squeezed it out. And we were able to get through it because your energy added a lot. By the way, don't forget. Okay, got it. Connor, Tesla. Yep. Brian, what's up? Thanks for coming. Gurgurgura. Peace and love to you. Amish Moop says peace and love to you. Well, peace and love to you, brother.
Yeah, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
You're just a little buttercup of God. Have a great day, everybody. And remember to love yourself.